Greetings, everybody. It's Thursday night here in San Antonio, and it's not in the teens or the 20s anymore. And I had to go to the dentist because I don't know. I don't think you could notice, but my cheek was swollen, and I was like, "This isn't right." So I went. My tooth had shattered a while ago, but it didn't hurt. But then my cheek was swollen. And I went and I had to get it pulled, but first the infection has to go down. And I actually sliced my gums open and drained the pus out, which sounds worse than it actually was, but it's still pretty gross. So now I just gotta wait till Monday and I'll get it pulled out and I'll be okay. Actually, they said I need like $12,000 worth of work done, but so I don't have that. I don't have that. So I do what I can. I feel really bad that I let my teeth get to this point, but I did, and it's my fault. So yeah, I feel pretty upset about that. But I'll talk about it more just to get it off my chest. I'm gonna get it done Monday, so I'll try to do a video, even if I'm all messed up. So I'm gonna do a review, but I want to show you some stuff I got from the library today. I got Attenberg. I thought this was a Gorgos Lanthimos film. He's an actor in it, but he didn't direct it. But it is a Greek film. But I did get his Dogtooth. If you still haven't seen Dogtooth, and it was one of the best movies of that time period, and still it's one of the best movies I've seen. Two-Lane Blacktop, and on recommendation of my friend Chris Nace, I got Paris, Texas. So hopefully I'll review this. But what I am going to review is 1989 Society, directed by Brian Yuzna. And he passed away, so cheers. So I took notes. So everybody knows, you should know Brian Yuzna by now. He produced Reanimator, but he also directed Bride of Reanimator, Silent Night, Deadly Night, For The Initiation, Return of the Living Dead 3, The Dentist movies. I'm talking about me going to the dentist. And he did Faust, Love of the Damned. And we all know how that was. But Society stars Billy Warlock as Billy Whitney and Devin DeVasquez as Clarissa. So I remember when Society came out, because I was buying Fangoria at the time, and I know I saw it in there. But I never saw it for rent. And I remember seeing it on cable once, and I was like, oh my god, Society is on. This must have been maybe like 90, 91, 92. I didn't have a VCR hooked up, and I wanted it. I was like, gotta have it, but at least I could watch it. And it was like a big deal for me at the time. And I think that's... Man, I didn't see it again till... Jesus. Maybe, I think on YouTube. And now I have a copy of it. I have a burn copy, a bootleg copy. And I watched it again, and now I see it a lot better. I remember I was a little disappointed because it's not all out gore fest. It's a little different, but I think it's just taking time for me to see other movies, go back, watch it, and I loved it. Billy Whitney, he was a good character. I thought I liked him. he's like kind of, it's weird because he's like captain of the football team or something, and he's like running for class president. So he's really popular, but he's also an outcast in his own family. They live in Beverly Hills, I think. They're really rich. They're really well off. They're the upper echelon of society, and he's just never felt that he fit in with them. And he goes to a psychiatrist, and then one of his sister's ex-boyfriends is hiding in her closet, and I was like, this is a very Layman-ish. It's like some Layman character would do. Billy finds him and like threatens him, and the guy, I can't remember his name, but he's like, dude, there's something going on, and I need to talk to your sister about it. Of course, Billy doesn't believe him, but slowly he starts to learn that there's something up with his family, and something very weird. And I'm sure you know what it is, and I'm sure you've seen it by now. But as it slowly unraveled, I liked all of it. I'm really getting into the stuff like Seventh Curse, Boxer's Omen, Lady Terminator, and going back to more action stuff where just something's always happening. I really don't like the slow burns anymore, unless they're just really, really good, which is maybe Barbarian, but that's not even really a slow burn. But I liked how this unraveled. I like Billy, and then he's at the beach with his girlfriend, and he meets this girl Clarissa, played by Devin DeVasquez. She is gorgeous, and she's super hot. She's way ahead of her time in hotness for like 1989, 1990. She has awesome hair. She ethnic looking. She's smoking bud, and like the way he meets her. So this is like Layman-ish too, a little bit. And then he goes to her house, and like, he breaks up with his girlfriend, or his girlfriend. I think she just thought they were messing around, but he's like so wrapped up in trying to figure out what's going on. But he starts hanging out with Clarissa, and they have sex, and then she makes him a tea or coffee, or she's like, do you want cream or sugar, or do you want me to pee in it? I was like, that's pretty weird. It's just weird. She's a weird girl. Again, like a Layman character. And slowly, this is like a classic, just like a man, going down the winding path of mystery and weirdness. And then when it gets to the end, like I've seen it before. And I thought I remembered all the stuff when the bodies in society gets together and they meld into one big pile of flesh. It is weird. The end of Slither reminds me of, it's got to be a rip-off of Society. And even with CGI and better effects and more money, I like the Society version of like a big mound of people melted all together and like copulating, I guess. It's done better, or I just like it better in Society. It's good in Slither, but Society is just even slimier. There's so much like jelly and lube or whatever they're using. There's not much gore, but there's a lot of weird stuff. There's some kills. There's a lot of good characters. Like it seems like everyone's against Billy except for Clarissa. Oh yeah, and her mother. Her mother is so weird. Like she's like mute, or I don't know what is wrong. I get it. I took it that Society did something to her mother because she's nonverbal. She just looks dazed all the time, but she dresses weird. She always has different hair, and she kind of looks like in a way, like a John Waters character, like Divine or Edith Massey. She's very weird, and she has like an obsession with hair, and she's just always walking in, like staring at them. And Clarissa talks to her like she understands, and she seems a little like just fed up with her mother. Yeah, like I kind of felt sorry for her, but she obviously seemed to be existing and had a life. But I just felt that the society had done something to her, and she helps at the end. She helps Billy. Well, yeah, and his friend Milo was cool. He he helps Billy, and spoilers, like I was like, man, Milo's gonna get it, but he doesn't. It had the last, I would say, like the last 20, 20 minutes is a full on gross, disgusting, weird effects done by Scream Mad George, but I think it's almost 30 where it just gets weird. But I thought like, okay, let me get through the stuff to get to the crazy scene at the end, but it was, I liked it. Now I want to get that Blu-ray, like the special edition. I thought I'd be happy with a burnt copy, and my copy's great. It looks great, but I want like a nice copy for my collection. Ugh. And then the ending, like, it's not like Devil's Reign, where they melt. And Billy doesn't defeat society; he just survives them, and he teaches them a lesson too. Like, the ending was good. His parents are good. His guy plays his dad was really good. His psychiatrist, and they don't look like your stereotypical villains. Like his psychiatrist is just like a pudgy, balding guy. Man, he's really gross. Like I said, his dad, and then they sprinkle some other cool effects, like where he sees his sister showering and like she's all twisted around. The way his mom looks, she has like big man arms for legs. You know what? There's no CGI, and it's better for it. Like, sure, they could remake Society, do all CG and with practical effects, but it just wouldn't be the same. This is one. A lot of times I don't care. Like, they could remake. Oh my God, like? It was a movie like Gremlins. I think Gremlins would be fine if they did it CGI Gremlins, or something along like The Thing, or maybe Neon Maniacs. Society, it's just fine the way it is. I forgot who suggested it, but I'm really glad I had just kind of gotten my copy, so I've been meaning to watch it. I have thrown it on a few times. I was on Pay Attention, and it made it even better. Like, some movies I put on, Dead Birds, like Zombie 5 Dead Birds. I would like to put that on in the background, and then I watched it. It kind of ruined it when I paid attention. Paying attention made Society even better. I mean, I should pay attention to every movie, but there's some movies that they're just better as like background ambient noise images. Man, I'm gonna give Society a solid 4. I'm gonna give it 4.5. 4.5. It's just a classic 80s horror, weirdness. I'm gonna put it in with like Naked Lunch and like Eraserhead. Even it's more closer to that than like Friday the 13th or Nightmare on Elm Street type stuff. It's in that genre with David Cronenberg. And it was written by Zeffie Daniel and Rick Fry, who like grew up in this kind of rich environment. And the little I read, they said the new people like this. That's crazy. So if you have not seen Society, it's a must-see. You gotta see it. I'm sure most of you have already. I don't like second guessing you on what you've seen or not. But if you if you're like borderline, should I get it? Like buy it. It's worth it. Totally worth it. If you and Amazon has it, it's on. You could watch it on YouTube, and that copy's pretty good too. Yeah. Uh, Actually, you know what? I'm not even. I don't think my copy has the butthead scene, which is really gross and weird. You gotta see. You gotta see it just for that. Yeah, you have to see it just for the last ending. I can tell you what it looks like, describe it, but you have to see it. And I was like, man, I read this was on IMDb that this was big in the UK, but I was like, this must have been huge in Japan. Those weirdos. This is like right up their alley, man. So I'm bummed out about my tooth, but hopefully I'll get better. And yeah, I just didn't want to do any reviews because I was in pain and a little sad. I was about it. I was, man, I should have taken. But I wanted to do this review for whoever requested it, so there it is. I still need to do The Protector. I got all these other movies, so see what happens, and I'll see ya.